Good evening, everyone out there on YouTube. My name is Jared, and this is my channel, Mazda B3K. In this video, we're going to investigate why the wiper pump on my 2010 Ford Fusion named Jadzia is no longer working. Without further ado, let's get started. So normally, you turn the car on, you want to use the wiper pump, you pull the lever, you're supposed to get, on this vehicle it's a push. There we go. So I've got fluid, and you're noticing something here. The wipers are running, but you don't hear the pump. It's not even that I'm out of fluid. You don't hear the pump, and that's what we're trying to find out. Now, I've already done a little bit of troubleshooting on this. There is a fuse. I'll put it in the video description. That is for the circuit that feeds the pump. That fuse is fine because it also feeds other items other than the pump, and all that stuff's working. So I know it's not a fuse. No, it's not that check engine light. That is an evap code. That's something else. So what I intend to do in this video is we're going to access the pump. We're going to do some voltmeter testing. I'll have somebody hit the button, and I'll see if I see 12 volts down at the pump connector. If I do, that kind of tells me the pump is bad. If I don't, then there's something in between the two that's not working right. It could be the multi-switch here. I don't think it is, because as you saw, the wipers themselves move just fine, and every other function on that multi-switch works fine, so I'm pretty confident it's not that. But there may be a relay in the mix. I don't seem to remember there being one, but it's possible. Anyway, let's dive in. So in this vehicle, the wiper reservoir is located under the headlight. See, here's your fill tube. That tube is just a flexi tube. It goes down. It's kind of hard to see, but it goes down there under the headlight, and it is mounted on a rail down there. So you have two ways you can get to it. You could remove this headlight, which I've done stuff like that before. It's kind of a pain. Or what I'm hoping to do is we're going to put this thing in the air. We're going to take the tire off, and then we're going to remove the wheel liner. That's what we're going to do. Take that out, and I'm hoping that that's going to give me the access I need to get directly at the bottom of the reservoir where the pump is located. Okay. In my application, I have 19mm lugs, so zip those off. Got the vehicle sitting on a jack stand. Let's stay safe, kiddies. And here we are. So, as you can see, there are these push pins. We just got to wiggle them out. I like using a trim removal tool, push pin tool, cat claw, whatever you want to call it. Use one of those. We're going to get this out. You have some along the edge here. Some of these are missing because I ran out of ones that fit. Along this edge, you got some up high, you got some on the interior. I want to say there's one or two that are on the underside here. Trying to remember. Nope, not there. Nope. Okay, I'm thinking of a different vehicle. So anyway, we pop all these out, drop this liner, and hopefully we get the access we need kind of up over here. If not, we may have to pull this out, but I think that's too far down because I'm seeing basically some of the accessory stuff on the other side of that. So let's zoink them. So I did forget that the fender skirt on this one is one long piece that goes from the sides to the front, back to the sides. But you can kind of bend and curl this out of the way, and there we are. Here's our tank, there's our connector, there's our pump. So what I'm going to do is take this connector loose, and then with a helper in the driver's seat, when I tell him to go, I'm going to take a multimeter and probe for voltage and see if I get 12 volts down here. Alright, let me get you guys set up. This is going to be kind of tricky to stick the probes in one-handed. Okay, go ahead and hit it. Alright, I got the probes backward, but we're seeing it went from 0 to 11.6. So we're getting power to the pump, which means the wiper pump itself is bad. Alright, I know from pulling this pump at the junkyard that it's just press fit. You can yank it right out. But this tank is also full, and I don't want a massive jet of wiper fluid all over the place. So what I'm going to do, and this takes much longer, is probably pull, yeah, I can't really pull the other end. Pull this and see if I can't catch it. And that's not the greatest of plans, but that's what I got at the moment. So we're going to try that out, let this thing slowly drain down so that I can swap this without making an enormous mess, and I'll get back with you. Alright, this is what I did. I had forgotten that I actually had some wiper fluid line, from doing some repairs for HVAC stuff and for repairing the Miata. So I just swapped it. And the other end of this line goes into this empty jug of coolant. It's empty, there's not really any residue in there, and even then, coolant's basically kind of alcohol. This is kind of alcohol. I don't think it's going to hurt anything to run through the line. So I'm just going to let it fill. This is going to gravity drain because the tank sits higher than the top of my bucket. Give you some perspective. And because of that, gravity will compel the fluid to go down, and I don't have to fool with it. So the only issue I might have is if currently this is holding more than a gallon, but we shall see. Bring it back when we're done. Alright, here's our new pump, and by new I mean new to me because I pulled this off something at the junkyard. So I don't know if it actually works, and to me the easiest way to do that is I'm just going to plug it in to my connector and hit the wipers, and if I hear that the pump going off, I know it's good. And as soon as we're done draining, I'll just insert it, and that's it. Alright, I did hear the whine of the pump motor going off. I only ran it for a second or so because these are designed to be cooled by the liquid they're pumping. So if you run them too long dry, you'll burn them out. Anyway, that is good. So now we just wait and let physics and gravity do stuff. So I will bring you back when this is done and we start reassembly. Alright, I've drained it down to the point where the pump's not really leaking. So then you just kind of wiggle it out. Alright, I'm going to lose a little bit, but that's okay. That's way better than if the whole thing had come out. So, old one's out. I mean, topically nothing really looks wrong with it. Maybe it just gave up. I don't know. But when we compare it, same style. So grab our new one, and we're just gonna wiggle it in. We got to get it past this seal that I'm hitting with my thumb. I'm probably gonna need two hands to do it, but we're gonna shove it in until we get it through that seal right there. Got it partially in, and then we'll reconnect the electrical, fill it back up, and give her a test. Alright, so pro tip. I took a jeweler screwdriver, I worked this seal off, and now I'm just going to put the seal in and then put the pump in into the seal. That should work out a whole lot better than trying to ram it all in together. So that should make your life easier. And just like that, that's the new pump in. Electrical's done. So let's fill her back up and see what we get. Alright, moment of truth. Here we go. Well, actually the hood's up, but let's see what it does. Yeah. We have sprayage. It's a beautiful thing. All right, I've gotten most of my push pins back in. Don't forget, you've got kind of an oddball one over there. You've got one up high. And then you've got one kind of hidden in the corner in the back. And then there's one that I missed, but my plastic's torn here. There's one, I don't know if the camera's going to show it. There, maybe. In the bottom there. You really need to assume anytime you touch these push pins, come on camera, that you need to put in new ones. I don't have the right kit. So I was luckily able to recycle most of these. I really do need to replace them. Anyway, that's all back in, so we're just going to put the tire back on and call it a day. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode where we successfully diagnosed and then swapped out a bad wiper fluid pump on my 2010 Ford Fusion named Jadzia. So if this video was helpful to you, if you learned something, or if it helped you get the job done, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It does help grow the channel. Also, if you have a comment, leave a comment. I like to read them, I like to reply to them, and I particularly like to learn from them. And with all that said, remember guys, I make the mistakes and record them for all posterity, for all time, so you don't have to. I'll catch you guys later.